I'm Mishima Yuki, and you're listening to the Giant Sword Podcast, home of the second biggest group of Phantom Thieves ever. The first being me. Keck.
I don't know. Hey, what's up? It's your boy Nick, and welcome to this redo of the Giant Sword Podcast. And this is a different setup because I was too lazy. I didn't know Maddie was going to be here. I thought she was going to be doing D&D, and I didn't set up the podcast. I set it up with this little intimate thing. And Taylor's joining us to make up. This time he's not muted.
Hi.
Yep. Can everyone hear him this time?
Hopefully. I can hear me very, very quietly on your end, but that's not distracting at all.
Alright, not distracting. What? Really?
I can hear something.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird. Maybe it's you're watching the stream and you hear that?
I don't hear it. I don't have the stream on. Anyway.
Anywho, yeah, this week, yeah, I'm glad that a lot of people missed out on our train wreck of a podcast.
It was actually a good podcast. We just didn't have the mic on.
Yeah, it was a really good podcast, and Taylor was muted the entire time. That sucked.
Yeah, that'll happen.
It is Kraft's fault, just saying.
He wasn't there, but it was still his fault.
It's always his fault. And if you guys like the new setup with the topics and the social media links, it's pretty cool. But let's get on to the podcast. All right. So, Taylor, with me is my noble and hairy R. Taylor.
Hi.
And no Maddie, I'm sorry. I don't know if the intro cut off, but we'll see that in post, and I'll edit it in. But let's move on to the first part of news. The next Ys title is in development, and it's set after Ys 8.
Well, that's good. So they seem. I thought they were going to be in like a Pokemon habit of like new game remake. But I'm kind of glad that we're getting another one, like just an immediate follow up. So it's good. I'm excited. I liked Ys 8 a lot. Lots of speedruns going on.
You just want to speedrun 9, don't you?
That's the only reason I'm buying 9 is so I can speedrun it.
Only reason.
Everything else, trash.
It's interesting. I wonder if it's going to take place after the true ending.
Because you and Maddie were saying something about it's going to be in a desert or something.
Yeah, because he's leaving. He's going on his next adventure, which is going to be one of the desert area or desert continent. And I guess that's where we're going. And we're going to go kill another god.
Of course.
And we're going to break another girl's heart who has orange hair.
Of course, as always.
It's either orange or blue. We had orange this week, this game, so maybe it's going to be blue next game.
Well, Donna has blue hair, but it's not a girl that likes him or whatever.
Yeah, it's yeah. there's always a blue-haired girl. There's always an orange-haired girl, and yeah, the orange-haired girl always likes him for some reason. It's weird.
That's how it goes.
But yeah, I wonder if they're going to change the party system.
Yeah,
because
they've been doing that for a while.
Every game, the party system's different.
Not really. They've had the character swapping since 7.
No, it's like they have the swapping, but each the way they do it is different. Like in 7, I think you swap they're in there, right? But you don't instantly turn into them, right? They're you go to where they're at.
Oh, that's true. Okay, you're right.
Because Memory of Celceta was the same thing, is that they were all around you, and then you switch, and then the camera moves to where they were.
Yeah, this one you turn into the other character almost, which is good for speedrunning. So let's keep it like that.
Let's keep it like that. Leave the other way out. No, they're gonna fix it now because the speedrunning.
No, oh, that's fine.
So they're like, yeah, we gotta get rid of that. We gotta get rid of mud because mud somehow breaks the game.
Best part of the game.
You hope Gaius comes back, Wandy? Is there a Gaius in Ys?
I'm trying to remember. Is there? Maybe in one of the PSP games? Felga?
She'll tell
Okay.
us.
You tell us which Gaius, Wandy, because I can't remember.
When I think of Gaius, I think of Gaius from Cold Steel.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But
Yeah.
I think he's in Oath of Felgana, maybe? I forget.
The one I haven't played.
It's hard. You'd like it.
Yes, yes. Difficult games are the best.
And yet, he hasn't played any Dark Souls or Bloodborne.
What? I don't care.
I don't care. But you're always saying play hard games, always playing the hardest, but you don't play the game that's known for being hard.
Well, I don't own it. And I'm playing Xenogears, which is really hard. He's in she says he's in Ys 7.
Okay. Sure.
So obviously you don't know these things.
Oh yeah.
You didn't play the game. You didn't finish the game for Blizzard Thumbs. You know?
That's it.
No way. So excited to see more details on that. I want Tokyo Xanadu 2 first, though. You know.
Yeah, I wonder if they're working on that.
What would you want? Tokyo Xanadu 2 or Ys 9?
Oh, Tokyo Xanadu 2 for sure, because I've played a lot of Ys games, and they're all more or less the same, and they're all awesome. Like, I don't dislike any Ys games, but like I know exactly what I'm getting. We've only had one Tokyo Xanadu, so it's like let's get more. Give me more.
Give me more. Wait, I need more.
Give me more budget Persona.
Yes, there needs to be more Rio. You know, better Rise.
Better Rise. Yeah, she was barely in it.
Yeah, she was awesome though. She actually was like one of the most powerful characters. So let's move on to the next part of the news. Is Last Remnant for PC, physical and digital, being delisted on September 4th, but in September for the physical copies.
I'm surprised people still buy physical copies of PC games, or is it for all platforms?
I think it's for all platforms.
Okay. Yeah, because I think the story was only PC, but it might be all things. I don't know. I think it was only a PS3 game on console. I don't remember.
I think it was PS3 and Xbox 360, because everything was on Xbox 360 back in that generation.
Most things, yeah.
You're checking.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that it was the one that had that weird gun combat. No, the combat was like very difficult apparently. Have you ever played it?
The gun that has gun combat?
Yeah, Last Remnant.
I think you're thinking of. Oh my god, what the heck is that game?
What is it? It's another PS3 era.
You're thinking
JRPG.
of Resonance of Fate.
Yes, Resonance of Fate. What's the Last Remnant then? I have no idea what the Last Remnant is.
So this, I'm looking at the stories. It very specifically says it will only be delisted from Steam. So it doesn't say other platforms, but it did come out on. Let's see. This game had a worldwide release for Xbox 360 in November of 2008, and for Windows March 2009. So it actually didn't come out on PS3. Oh, yes, it did. It doesn't say it on the Wikipedia page though. Anyway, that is. We were talking about this yesterday. It's very confusing. Games very rarely get delisted, and they only do it usually because of a licensing issue, like Scott Pilgrim, or Konami with like Ninja Turtles and The Simpsons, or Marvel with Marvel vs. Capcom. So is The Last Remnant? I don't think that's tied to like a book or.
Maybe it has like a pop song that it's in like the credits or something.
That's the only thing I can think of. Is there's some copyright thing that is becoming an issue and they don't want to re-up it. That's my only thought.
Oh man! Thank goodness I had the Scott Pilgrim game, because that's a great game. It's on my PS3, and I will always have it.
It's just like I will always have PT.
I know, me too. I bought a new PS3 or PS4. Remember, I got the Pro, and I was able to transfer it over to the Pro.
Oh, you can if you downloaded it previously, you can re-download it.
No, it's gone. It was already installed on my old PS4, and I transferred it over to my Pro, and it allowed me to transfer it. So thank goodness for that. But yeah, last round. I just never. It was during that era where we didn't really play JRPGs except for like Tales games.
There really weren't any. There was like Ni no Kuni and like a bunch of garbage. No offense.
You mean a bunch of Tales games?
No, Tales was fine. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that about Tales. I meant like Compile Heart and like Idea Factory and all those guys. Yeah.
I need to play Eternal Sonata.
Yeah, me too. We were talking about that the other day on Discord, and that's a game that I've always looked at, and it's always looked really pretty and nice, but can't be, he was like, yeah, it's kind of like a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10 type of game. I'm like, yeah, it's fine.
It's a budget.
Yeah,
Tales.
basically.
And apparently the cutscenes are very slow, and they go on forever.
Really?
Whenever. It's like a meme.
Oh, okay. Huh. Did not know that.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's true, but I've seen a lot of like back in the day. I saw a lot of videos about how the cutscenes were really slow. Yeah. So that's a damn it. That's a thing. This new setup is so weird because I have like so many buttons and I can't use my computer and
Gotta get used to
I
it.
can press this button. Then I gotta get used to it because if I move, this is how we're gonna be doing podcasts for the rest of
Forever.
until we all move into the same city. Yeah. So the next piece of news is Nelk and the Legendary Alchemist details a lot of classic characters from old Altira games.
Yeah, so... Ooh, you're off sync apparently. But anyway.
It's fine. I could totally mess with it.
Yeah, so this is interesting.
You froze a little bit, Taylor.
Okay. You good now?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, they're doing some interesting things with Atelier. So this game is, I believe it's for the 20th anniversary of this series, and it's not a traditional Atelier game. It's like a town building game, but they have like one character from each game. So if you're like a hardcore Atelier fan, you played them all, like there's going to be somebody from each game apparently. It looks interesting. I want to see more gameplay footage.
Have you seen the trailer that they're released? I think it's in that link I sent you.
I did, yeah. It doesn't show a lot of gameplay. It shows some of the town building stuff and a little bit of combat, but it's mostly like the character portrait talking stuff.
The typical Japanese trailer.
Yeah, exactly.
It shows the voice actor and everything.
Oh, that was weird. Yeah, at the very end, he's like sitting there on the microphone. That was really weird. I've never seen anything like that.
No, I meant whenever they show characters in those trailers, it's always like a random voice clip. It shows the art, and then it always says CV name. Like,
no, but I believe maybe it was a different game, but there was some Japanese game where there's like a narrator, and then at the very end, he like shows his face on the like next to the microphone recording the VO. It's really weird.
Interesting. Anyway. I wonder if I still have that delay. Just tell me if I do, because I refreshed everything. Shouldn't have a delay.
Cool.
But so yeah, this game makes me want to play the other ones.
Yeah, like I was saying yesterday, I know there's a couple. There's a few trilogies, so I guess it just depends on which trilogy you want to play. Probably since you already have Sophie, and it's the first in that trilogy, maybe just start with that.
Let's start with that.
And apparently people are like saying that's one of the better ones. So,
and then maybe play Verona again when it comes out on PS4, and then I get to go, oh my god, it's so bright, I can't see anything.
You know what's interesting about so apparently they remastered Verona. They like remade it, even though like there's the PS3 version, and then I think they had a new engine, and then they remade Verona in the new engine, so it's less cutesy and it's more like proportional character models. I've seen it. It's very subtle, but it's different once you like put it side by side. So I bet you that's the new version.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they're gonna bring that one out. They make sure like all the styles are the same.
Yep.
Boom.
But Toturi was my favorite. I think it was that one. I don't know. Verona was really good. It was very straightforward. It was just like, here's a task, go do it. Here's a task, go do it. Eventually get to the end.
So back in the day, when Taylor came back from Korea, like 2010, 11, 12, he would come over to my house all the time and play video games and stay there and like sleep over. And I'll be like sleeping, and you'll be playing Taylor games, and I'm like, Taylor, the game is so effing bright, I can't even look at the screen.
Yep, I remember that.
I'll be trying to sleep. I remember same thing for Castlevania: Lords of Shadow.
Oh, did I play that there? Okay.
Yeah, you played that. You played Persona 4 there. That's when you got the bad ending, and you're like, no, that's not the end. And then you're like, he's left. You left right after that. It was over.
I was really mad.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah, I remember the first like handful of PS3 games I bought were Batman: Arkham Asylum, Resident Evil 5, and then I think that Castlevania game. Those were like some of my first PS3 games.
Castlevania: Lords of Plagiarism.
Yep.
I got the bad ending in P5, yeah.
Yep, exactly.
But it was like I knew it was the wrong answer, right? I was thinking about it. I'm like, okay, this is the wrong answer, but maybe they're tricking me, you know? Maybe they're doing some reverse psychology, so I picked it. I'm like, no, they're not. They're not that clever. So,
you baka.
I baka. And then I did the right ending, and then like the same thing happened, and I'm like, what? Is the game over? Did I need to do something in the game? But no, the cutscene continued. So, what? Bad ending of Persona 5, man. Maddie's reaction.
What?
Yeah, you'll never see that again.
I'll never see it coming.
Let's go to the next piece of news. There's a RPG Maker MV for PS4, Xbox One coming out in 2019 to the West. It's kind of like a joke game for us because we grew up playing RPG Maker all the time. I remember, well, not for RPG Maker 1, but for RPG Maker 2, we I slept over your house to play. I slept over your house to make the RPG Maker 2, and it was a school night. I remember I slept over your house on a school night, and even though we were 4 years apart, we still went to the same school because we went to both with the Kings at the time.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
And we made. I remember the whole premise. It was you're going on a hike with your uncle.
Yeah, I think the game was called Gramps or something.
Yeah, Gramps or something like that. And we made it so you're doing the hike, and then like we figured out that you could make the water level rise.
Yep.
So we're like, let's make the place flood. And we made it flood. Yeah, we made the place flood. And did like Gramps die or something?
I don't remember. Yeah, all I remember is you get to the cave, and then when you get to the cave, it floods, and then you come back, and I forget what happens when you come back to town. I wish I had that file. I wish I could play that. That was so long ago.
Oh my god.
It was amazing.
It was amazing. That was really funny. And I remember we never played RPG Maker 3 together that much, but I borrowed it from you, and I made this huge campaign. I think the game was like an hour or 2 hours long.
Really?
Yeah, and it was about like it was a dumb premise, but it was like you're in a town, and I did the stupid, typical trope where, hey, I need some mushrooms to make this soup. Can you go get mushrooms? So I did that. You go get the mushrooms. All this is the RPG Maker 2 and RPG Maker 3 are on PS2. RPG Maker 1 was on PS1. So these are on PS2. We have PS1 stories too, but I made it so you go to the forest, you come back, and then the town's like overrun by zombies. And I made like a zombie apocalypse RPG, and I had to save my friend who was she was like a priestess, and she had like this attack spell called Dark Whisper. And I remember you were like, man, that's a really cool spell. Cool name.
Yep.
And and it was long, and I got to this point, I was like nearing the end of my story, and it was like a siege of this castle, like the zombies were going to attack this castle. And I was like so into it, and the next day I was going to finish it. Game data corrupted.
Oh my gosh, there's nothing worse than putting like a ton of time into something and then it just all gets deleted.
Oh, all of it gone.
The worst.
And that was a sick. I was so into that. It was a sick RPG, and it was actually like, you know how we usually did it, and it was like none of it was balanced at all. Like the monsters were either extremely easy and or extremely hard.
Yep.
This one, it was balanced. I liked it. It had boss battles. It had betrayal. It was good.
Oh my gosh. I think the problem always was the game never looked great, and then the combat system was always like that basic Dragon Quest combat.
Yeah, it still is. Well, I think the new one is more like a Final Fantasy VI combat now.
Yeah, it's side view. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just looking up some screenshots. Yeah, it's actually a little bit better.
It's very sprite. It's still very spritey, but you can make an RPG still.
I mean, and you can make your own assets if you want to get crazy and make your own assets, but
On the PC version, definitely not on this one. I bet not
On
on
the
the PS4 version. Like in the PC version, you could like code your own battle system. I've seen people make a Tales of fighting system in RPG Maker. So I was like,
Oh, wow.
it's pretty cool. I mean, I don't know the code, so I'm not going to do that. But it's very versatile in the on the PC. But yeah, Ryan, I want to. This has been an idea for me for the longest time. I was like, if I ever get an audience, I would want to have a RPG Maker stream, and then have a basic premise, just a basic premise, and then we build off it with the community. Like we just play it and we ask questions. It's like, okay, what's going to happen here? What should this person's class be? And just make like a 30-minute to an hour game. Have it completed.
that'd be awesome.
A brothel. But yeah, so I don't know. I was looking at it. I'm like, yeah, I would like RPG Maker is like a staple in our lives. I would like to get this one. We were going to get the 3DS one, but
Yeah, was it called RPG Maker Fest or something? Fez?
yeah, Fez or something like that. Yeah, it looked cool. That one looked cool.
And it's the perfect platform because you can use the stylus to draw stuff.
And you need they need to support it. Like it says PS4 and Xbox One, it needs to come to the Switch. It needs to come to the Switch.
There you
That would be perfect. So hopefully that does come out to the Switch.
Would be perfect.
Oh man, so many good memories. The PS1, Brian was in it on it. I remember he had like the graph paper. You had the graph paper, and we just like designed these dungeons and cities.
Oh my gosh, we got crazy. I remember Brian would always get crazy with shadows. I remember we made this one River City, and there's a bridge that goes across the river, and he got the dark water and put it under next to the light water, so it looked like a shadow was going across.
Yep.
He did all kinds of crazy stuff. He was very creative.
We would always make these very elaborate intros, and then we'll be done. We'll never finish it because I don't know why. Oh man, I remember it was your idea. It was you were like a wizard apprentice. Do you remember that one?
Oh yeah, and you're like a slave or something. Oh no, that was a different one that Brian was working on. I remember the wizard apprentice one though.
Yeah.
That might have been one Brian was working on.
Did you ever see the ones I made with Connor?
There was the pizza one. That's
pizza
the one
one?
I remember, and then there was
Okay.
Lucy's Adventure or something like that.
Yes. So Connor, after the whole Tales of Destiny era, where whenever we slept over each other's houses, we would make movies, so make videos on silly videos on a camcorder, and then we'll play Tales of Destiny, and then it became RPG Maker. We would just make silly ideas, and one of them was just it was just an intro. All it was a guy walking through a town, and suddenly there's this huge explosion. The town is perfectly peaceful. We had to duplicate the towns, so one of them was just perfectly fine, and then the other one was just all on fire. And all it was is this guy walks by, and then poof, and then there's teleports you to another town which is on fire, and then you're at the same spot, and there's a guy right next to you who's like, I only wanted to make pizza. And that was it. And that was it. And we would laugh every time we watched it.
Crazy.
The other one was Lucy's adventure. The reason why we made that one is because Lucy which was Connor's cat at the time, and she was missing.
Oh.
They didn't know where she was, so his mom was really freaked out, and we just made a game where Lucy was in like this mystical dream world. you know those pre-made things, and someone was like a dream crystal world. So all you do is your main character was a cat, and it was the same color as Lucy, and you would just walk to this like bed, and then it would be like, I got you now, and then you would fight this boss, and you would fight it, and then once you beat him, it like fades to black, and then it goes up. It fades back, and then it's same area. Or he's like in a house, and it's like, oh, it was all a dream. And then he goes, or maybe not. And then it cuts back to him in the crystal world, and it just looped the entire
that's
time.
right. I remember that. I remember it looped. I remember there was one game that just never ended.
It just never ended. It's the same thing that always happens. It's like, oh, it was all a dream, or maybe not. And then it was making like a sound. I remember that really weird sound it always made.
Oh my gosh, here's Brian. Hey, perfect timing, Brian. We were just talking about RPG Maker. And how we used to make these elaborate towns, and we never finished any of the games. But now he's making a real game, so he graduated to actual game development.
He's actually made a game. You still got to work on that proposal, Brian. Get that done. But yeah, so we've made. I remember Connor's game. It was like a real game. The main boss was like Garland. Who was?
Garland is a Final Fantasy IX boss.
All right, so like the main character was Garland, and there was no balance at all. You just destroyed everyone, and you beat the game in like 15 minutes.
Awesome.
Lucy has passed on because of old age, just like my cat Stripey, who passed on at old age. These are our childhood cats.
Yeah.
We are now grown old men, so they're gone now.
Yep. My cat's probably long gone too. I don't know what happened. I moved and we just sort of left him there.
Oh, you're an awful person. You're one of those people.
It wasn't.
I don't think it was your fault though.
It was my mom. Blame my mom.
It was a big kitty and disgusting white kitty.
There's big kitty, little kitty, and blue.
You never saw blue. I always saw big kitty and disgusting white kitty. It was always in the back. It was always in the back, and her eyes were always like.
Yeah, she always had goop in her eyes.
And she was always sickly. It always looked like she was sick.
She was always throwing up. Big Kitty was the best because he would just like go out for like 2 days, and then he'd come back with like a bird in his mouth.
Yeah, Big Kitty was a big kitty.
He was
nice. It was a nice cat.
He was the best.
Yeah, he was a nice cat, and even though he was like a feral cat, kind of, because he was always outside. Yep. I think Blue was mostly feral because I never saw Blue.
Blue just was another weird cat that always. She was like I think she literally had something wrong with her. She was very strange. Okay. Anyway, so let's move on.
And move on to story. No, we're going on magic tangent time.
Magic tangent time. Okay.
Yeah, Wandy, it wasn't Taylor's fault. There's a whole story that he could tell you on Discord, okay?
Yes.
Let's move to the next part of news. Grandia 1 and Grandia 2 HD Remastered announced for the Switch. And Grandia 1 is coming, the HD Remaster is coming out for the PC.
I know we've been talking about this for a while now, but when I saw that announcement, I'm like, why? This is so random.
It's so random.
Because they haven't made, we looked this up yesterday, they haven't made a game in like 6 years, unless you count the PC port of Grandia 2. So I'm wondering if they're putting these out, because like you put HD remasters out for a couple of reasons. One, to test if there's still an audience for that series, and two, to like make a little extra cash to fund the game you're currently working on. So I'm wondering if it's both of those, and we're getting like a Grandia 4 or something.
Grandia Extreme 2. No!
Grandia Super Extreme.
Okay, so Grandia Extreme was awful. But it wasn't like set up like a normal JRPG. You were like in a hub world, a hub town, and then you would go into like fire area, water area, wind area, and then you just do these dungeons. It's like, oh, you got to find the magical dragon egg or whatever it was. And then you're like super awesome, epic, evil final level area. And it was really bad, and it had really bad voice acting.
Really?
Like, it was ridiculously bad.
It could have been any worse than Grandia 1.
No, Grandia 1 has decent voice acting. It had, like, the best voice acting on the PS1 era, pretty much. That's one of the better voice acting on the PS1.
Yeah, it was cheesy, but it was good.
Yeah, but this one was like, oh, I'm gonna get you, Mr. Dark Evil Man. Oh, no, he destroyed my town. It's like, what?
Just really cheesy.
Really cheesy. It's like, who are you? Oh, you're an evil, stupid girl. Get out of my town. It's like, wow, this guy is really unlikable.
Wow.
It was just a really bad game, man.
What was interesting, I was looking at the releases. It went Grandia 1, Grandia 2, Grandia Extreme, and then they made Grandia 3.
Yeah. Grandia Extreme was like a side project, which failed. And then Grandia 3 was like, we're back to our roots. We're going to spend all this money. And then we spent too much money. So at the end of the game, you could totally tell that we lost our budget.
That happened with Lunar. Because I remember they did Lunar 1, Lunar 2, and then they made like a GBA game or something like that.
I think it was just like Lunar Adventures or something like that.
Yeah, it's called Lunar Legend.
Yeah.
Okay. What is this game? Let me dig into this for a second.
I think it's just a really bad port of Lunar 1.
I think you're right. Okay. It was a game developed for the GBA. It's a retelling of Lunar. All the characters in the original game appear. Yes, you're right. It's just basically they remade that game a lot because that was a Sega CD game, a PS1 game. They remade it for the PSP, and then there's a Game Boy Advance version. Apparently, they must have really been proud of that game.
It was like the granddaddy of JRPGs, one of them. It has all the tropes.
Exactly. Exactly.
Just like Xenogears as a trope, right at the beginning. It's like, it was a peaceful night, and then it was a peaceful night, but then the attack happened, and nothing was ever the same. Like, oh, okay. Lahan was attacked.
Interesting.
For the Grandia 1, the PS4 version, yeah, that'd be cool. But I would PS1 version for the PS4 version for the trophies.
There you go.
I would want to do the trophies.
Is there a lot of secrets in that game? Because I mean, there's not. It's an interesting game because if I remember right, this isn't really a spoiler, but it's not like your typical like old era JRPG where like at a certain point and you get like an airship or something where you can just go wherever. You just keep going. There's no like backtracking.
Yeah, so there's no backtracking at all.
Yeah.
So you're like in one area, and then you could go between the areas in that part, and then you go to another area. I'm not gonna give it any way away. And then you go to another area, but you're not able to go back.
Right.
There's usually like an explanation of why you can't go back, but it's a linear story. And yes, there is secrets in Grandia 1. In like this desert in the middle of the game, there's like this desert area, and in that desert you could find like a secret haunted castle.
Whoa. Okay.
And it's like it's a secret dungeon, pretty much. And you just do it and gain experience. And I don't know what you actually get. I don't remember. I've done it once. I always remember it's like, okay, this is the desert where I need to find it, and I never find it. I found it twice. Once I couldn't beat it, and the second time I destroyed it. But I don't remember what's there. I'm pretty sure there's other secrets, but not ringing a bell.
I have to say real quick, every time I see this piece of cloth move, I think there's somebody behind me. Because I'm looking at our own video on Discord, and every once in a while I'll just sort of flap my, oh my god, somebody's coming up the stairs.
You know what you should do? You should flip it so it's behind you.
I should.
So it's like a black...
It's sort of a pain in the butt to rotate. So I just sort of left it.
Is it like the same thing that I had?
Kind of. Yeah. It has those little pins that you pin on the top so it doesn't fall off.
Mm. Yeah. So the real question is Wandy going to play Grandia?
That's a good question.
I don't think she is.
Your real question is your brother Brian going to play Grandia?
No, he has kids. He has no time to do anything except Magic and board games. Make his game. I don't even think he's here anymore because he's hosting Magic Night tonight.
Yeah, I guess today is Monday, huh? Yeah.
And to answer Brian's question,
I'll remember you giving me Grandia. Yeah, I gave him Grandia for his birthday in like 8th grade.
In Spanish class.
It wasn't in the middle of class. It was like in between classes. Like, here you go.
Really? I thought it was at a party. No, that was Tales of Destiny, wasn't it?
I don't remember. I remember him looking. We either talked about it or we saw Grandia in a game magazine. But I remember like.
I remember we got Tales of Destiny at a party. The party was in a garage. There was a TV, and I remember you were like, "Oh, look at this game! It's called Final Fantasy Tactics." And you put it on, and you were playing it, and we're like, "Oh, this is really cool." And you took it out, and you dropped the CD. And then I just remember you going, "Oh no!" like really loud.
It's so funny the random things we remember.
But thanks, Taylor, for getting Tales of Destiny.
I have speaking of tactics, I have another funny, weird memory. I remember it was me and Brian and somebody else. I don't remember who it was. We were playing Final Fantasy Tactics in my room. At my house, we were having a party. And then Max Robson came in and just like turned the PlayStation off and took the disc and like left. And I remember Brian getting really mad.
You were probably having one of your wrestling parties. And
I don't... Do you remember, Brian? Do you remember that? I very vividly remember that.
What your Brian was doing, like super. He was like calculating how to farm this one thing, and he must have blocked it out.
Man.
Red rage in my eyes. I remember though. I was probably at one of those wrestling parties because that's probably why he's like, stop playing video games and watch wrestling.
I don't know. It was probably some girl thing. We were into, everybody was over the same girl back in the day or something. I don't know. I have another funny Final Fantasy Tactics memory, and this will also never leave my mind. Me and Josh were playing Tactics at his house, and we were trying to beat Bellius like forever, and we finally beat him. And what? Held a message for a reason. Identity. Allow it to post in chat. What? Okay. Anyway. And now I lost my train of thought. Oh, we were playing and we beat Bellius, and then he unplugged his controller, and we thought we didn't see it, but then we beat him and we like couldn't move. I'm like, no, we finally beat him. We can't go to the next cutscene. Like we thought it like froze or something, but our controller came unplugged. It was pretty fun.
Remember when controllers had wires?
I know, right? and in like 10 years, we're gonna be like, remember controllers?
No, I would never want to lose controllers ever.
Yeah, me neither.
We've gone through that road. It's called the Connect, and it was awful.
It sure was.
Gaff Gary.
Good old Gaff Gary.
Was his name really Gaff Gary on?
It was. Dude, I'm gonna find this right now.
I have a silly childhood story from when Brian was playing Tales of Destiny and I was watching, right? And whenever Brian was playing Tales of Destiny, he would not listen to the music. He would be playing MXPX. So we would be playing MXPX while playing Tales of Destiny. And I remember this one time he like fell over, like he was playing and then he like slumped over, And then I was like, Brian, what's wrong? Brian, what's wrong? And then he like got up and started like pretending to be a zombie and started like chasing me around the house. And he wouldn't stop. And it freaked me out.
Wow.
MXPX just came out with a new album.
Oh wow.
Gotta get it.
Probably still has those beats. Yep.
I don't remember. My brother tortured me. Wait, you're being a brother, Brian. You're teasing me. And I remember that you named all the characters based off your childhood, your classmates. And then I was able, once we got the channeling, we found out that we were able to play with each other, and I remember we beat the game.
Interesting. So according to FinalFantasy.wikia.com, his name's Gofford Gafgarian, aka Gafgarian.
Okay, that's what happened. Where is Mads? In that room over there?
We won't be here to ask her, have you beat Zelda yet?
Yeah, she's over there.
Okay, let's move on. We're excited for Grandia. We're gonna play.
We're so excited for Grandia that we started talking about other classic games.
There's too many classic games going on.
H-Man.
Right now.
We laughed for a straight hour for a random FFT name.
It was like Beauville or something like that.
They had some really great random names. So
Yeah. The randomly generated. I'm almost positive it was Beauville.
Beauville. Man, we need Connor here because he had some great random names on his files.
Oh yeah.
All right, Grandia. We'll see what's up with that. I'm just worried that, as I said and yesterday, what I said was that I'm hoping they don't redub it and re-script it. I want to have that classic PS1 feel still.
I don't think they will.
So I don't think so either because it didn't do it for the Grandia 2 one. So.
Uh-oh. My
That's
internet... It went...
it.
bzz.
No, you're fine. You didn't go bzz, bzz here.
Oh, okay, good.
What's next? Oh, what we've been playing.
Ah, okay.
What do you guys like this new thing that I have down here?
Pretty snazzy.
You know what it is?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a slideshow on Google Documents.
Oh, nice.
And I made the background a green screen.
Nice job.
That's it. Wow. It's fancy.
Wow.
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 Wow. Well, yeah, Maddie's probably playing WoW.
She
I
probably
can't look.
is.
I can't look at it because it would mess Taylor up.
Mm-hmm. So what I've been playing Valkyria Chronicles.
No, you beat Valkyria Chronicles.
I beat Valkyria Chronicles. I destroyed Valkyria Chronicles in like
For the-
3 days.
For the only person in our group that has beaten Valkyria Chronicles. Do you remember when randomly? Okay, another random tangent. Our old roommate Barry.
Yeah.
He randomly started playing it when
Really?
it came out on PC. Yeah, he was playing it when it came out on PC.
All I remember him playing was Path of Exile, and that was it.
Path of Exile and Dota
Mm.
all the time.
Dude, I remember when we played PT for the first time and that thing and the ghost scared me? I screamed so loud that Barry with his headphones on jumped.
Yeah.
I was like, ah! And then he jumped and he was like, what was that? I don't think I've ever screamed that loud at a game. I wish you were screaming it.
You screamed and you went back in the chair and the chair was like all the way like that way. I had to push you back because I was sitting right behind you.
Yeah.
And you you screamed so loud. I was like, okay.
That was amazing.
Because you didn't expect it. You were like, because you read, didn't you read something on the screen that said turn around? And
It's the radio. Yeah, the radio is like, look behind you. And I was like, what? This is stupid. Oh, God!
Yeah, you looked, and then you're like, you're not there. And then you're like,
Yeah, it's like you look behind you and there's nothing there, but then it's like when you turn back around.
yeah.
That's how they get
And
you.
it's good. the zombie dog crashing through the glass in Resident Evil.
Pretty spoopy.
No, not as spoopy as in Resident Evil 2 when the zombies start like falling out of like the morgue, and you're like, oh god, I gotta run away. So you have to grab like a key card that's in there.
Nothing is as scary as those weird breathy things in Resident Evil 4. And they just move all weird. Ugh.
The regenerators.
Those are the worst. You have to get that like infrared scoped sniper rifle or whatever.
Yeah, you have to find it. If you don't find it, because it's hidden, if you don't find it, it's the guess. But if you play it now, you could totally see it, even without the infrared. You just have to see like a distorted thing on the body, and you shoot that. And turn the lights back on. Oh, did you guys play Resident Evil in the dark, and then you had to turn it on?
Oh,
the lights on because you were scared. I really want Connor to tell him the story where he freaked out in Resident Evil 2. Such a good story. Dowis.
Okay. Yeah. What we've been playing? Valkyrie Chronicles.
Yeah, give me your thoughts on that.
It's really good. I cheesed the heck out of a couple missions. We did talk about it yesterday, but I'm going to recount it again because it's so silly. So there's a mission where you have to beat the female Valkyria, who I'm pretty sure she's on the cover of the PS3 version. So it's not a spoiler or anything like that. But so she's in this. You're basically like storming a castle almost. Like you get to this gate, and she's sitting on top of this wall, and the only way to get to her is you have to walk around like up these staircases. And the little officer, your captain's very very specific. It's like you can't just shoot at her because she'll dodge. You have to sneak up on her. And I tried that many times, and I just got destroyed because there's like machine guns everywhere. And so I'm like, let me try something. So at one point for the tank, you get smoke grenades. So anytime you launch the smoke grenade, and they're there for a turn, and if you're in it, nobody can see you or shoot you. Okay. So I launched this smoke grenade right in front of her, and then I moved 3 snipers, and I just sniped her 3 times, and I beat her in 1 turn.
That's how you do it.
It was awesome. I wasn't sure if it was going to work, but it did. The thing is, you can't shoot her with the same sniper 3 times. You have to have 3 different snipers. Because if you try to shoot her with the same sniper twice, she knows where it's coming from, and she'll dodge.
Too bad you didn't have that girl sniper from Valkyrie Chronicles 4.
Kai, she would just kill her in 1 shot. She's that pro.
I don't know. That was last episode when she did the weird flip in the air when she died in my demo.
Oh, did she get all ragdoll and like...
She got destroyed by a tank. So I am pretty sure I said this like last episode. And she got hit, and she flipped over a couple times. Like foof, 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 and then landed on her head, and then her butt was like, ugh. Like her legs were just like this. So she was like on her face, and her body was like this. And I was like, wow, that's like perfect.
You know what's really weird is sometimes that ragdoll physics doesn't make any sense. So there was this one mission where I had the tank, and I shot a mortar, and I killed a guy, or I shot a guy, and he blew him up. It didn't do enough damage to kill him, but the ragdoll physics threw him off a cliff, and then he respawned back on the cliff. Like, no, I clearly killed him. He clearly flew off the map. But
that's in the first one, right?
Yeah.
You like, I don't know, when you blow stuff up, they fly and flop around, but then they get back up. But it's funny that you teleported back to where he was.
That was the only time I've ever seen that happen, but I guess that's how the physics work in that game.
Yeah, it sucked because one of my scouts was running because you had to sneak to find the tanks. Yeah, and it's running, and then like one spawned right in front of me, and she just got massacred by machine guns. I'm like, oh, okay, that sucks. Like,
I like it. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was like, now how am I gonna rescue her?
I will say I like how varied the missions are in 4. I mean, it was only the demo. There's a couple missions. But I like that. I mean, it's early on where you have to sneak, find the tanks, and then you shoot the tower. I mean, it's sort of dumb from a story perspective, but gameplay wise, it's pretty interesting. So I'm curious to see what kind of stuff they do with that in 4, especially with the new class. The Grenadier class is like super powerful.
It's super tsundere.
Super tsundere, only for a little bit. But I will say the story was probably my favorite part of Valkyria Chronicles, because what I like is that it like humanizes all the characters, even the villains. It's like, why are we actually fighting this war? Like there's I don't want to spoil it, but there's like some really interesting moments where
there's this really sad moment in the middle of the game, and I'm like, what? They did this?
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. You know what's funny is I feel like that didn't hit as hard as I wanted it to, because I got to that point originally, and then I played it again, and I was waiting for it. I'm like, oh, that just kind of happened. All right. But the part do you know the cabin part? Do you know the part I'm talking about when they're in the cabin?
I don't remember anything.
Okay, well,
I only remember that part, the beginning of the game, the first couple missions, and then the mission that I couldn't beat, which was like that underground mission. And then I'm like, I'm done.
That's kind of how I was. But then all I heard was, oh, just cheat with scouts, cheat with scouts. I'm like, okay. And so that's what I did.
And you win.
And I win.
That's what I'm probably going to do now.
What?
Just if I play it again. Someone asked, actually, if we're getting Dragon Quest next week.
I am not going to get Dragon Quest next week. The only reason I'm not getting it is because on Thursday, I'm going back to California for like almost a whole month, and I'm not going to bring my PS4 with me. So unless Nick wants to let me use one of his PS4s or something weird, I don't think I'm going to do that.
I don't have an extra PS4. Remember, I gave it to Sean.
Oh, that's right. You don't have an extra one. Don't you have...
I have the one in the front room.
Okay, that's what I was talking about, yeah. That's like your dad's, though, isn't it? Kind of?
The Rock Band PS4? Yeah. I got that for free for working at GameStop.
Wow.
Yeah, just remote play across the country.
Every PS4 game's a Vita game. Yeah, just remote play. It's fine.
It's gonna be like, press left.
Wait, like a minute.
Great gameplay. Shut up, Facebook.
But if worse comes to worse, if I'm having withdrawals, Nick, I might do that. I might be like, let me borrow your PS4.
No, what you're going to do... Remember, we were talking about this yesterday. What were we going to do? What were the games that you're going to play? You were going to go some classic JRPGs.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I was gonna bring my Vita. Brian B Cops will like this. So the one game in my backlog that is haunting me now, it's my longest haunted game, is Chrono Cross. Because I finally beat Final Fantasy IX last year after buying it on like every platform it's available on, and I finally beat it. So I just want to tell you, Final Fantasy IX, I bought the PS1 version. I bought it on Vita. I bought it on PC. And then I bought it on PS4. Finally, I beat the PS4 version. I bought that game 4 times.
It's funny. It's weird because on the PC, it's just, on the PS4, it's just the PC version. So I had all those features, and you still didn't beat it on the PC.
The reason I didn't go back and play it on the PC was my computer was
It was starting to crap
busted.
out.
Yeah, I couldn't play anything on PC. If I had a working PC, I would have just beat it on PC. But yeah, I keep seeing myself disappear.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay.
That was my bad.
But yeah, so these are the PS1 classic JRPGs. It would either be Chrono Cross, Persona 2, Suikoden 2, or Mega Man Legends 2. So those are the ones. And Vanguard Bandits, I was kind of looking at that. It was like a mech strategy RPG. Yeah.
I haven't finished Chrono Cross either.
I'm surprised as well, Brian, because that's maybe my favorite game soundtrack of all time. Oh, my PC is updated for Cyberpunk. That's funny.
I think it is, actually. I think you're fine on that.
We'll see. That game is by the way, that game looked insane. You watched that gameplay, right?
Yeah.
Dude, that looked ridiculous. Like, how detailed everything. It's just dense. Like, how much stuff there is to do and how much is going on.
You know what happened the last time everything was so dense and everything was so detailed? It turned out to be crap. Don't say that ever again.
What game was that?
That was the prequels. Star Wars prequels.
Oh.
Every
dense.
frame
There's
is
so much
dense.
going on in every frame.
Yeah, now you got it.
I thought you might have been talking about a game. Like, I know that's a Red Letter quote, but I don't know. So dense. There's so much. Shut up.
Shut up, Rick Berman. You ruined this too.
Yeah.
Wait, what is it with it? Ricks.
So dense. But yeah, one of those classic RPGs I'm going to be playing, or many, depending on how fast I beat them.
I don't. If you pick Chrono Cross, I think it's gonna take the entire month.
Really, dude, I beat Valkyria Chronicles. That was a 20-hour game. I beat it in like 3 days.
Unless you have a bunch of downtime, because you're here to work. So I'm just, I'm wondering if you.
It's both. So the reason I'm staying that long is because I have a bunch of things to film at the beginning of the month, and then at the end of the month, my cousin's getting married. So I'm like, I'm not gonna fly back for a week. That seems like a waste of money. So I'm just gonna stay.
Gotcha.
That's my thought, at least.
You should then fly back at the beginning of November, do some, no, end of October, so you could join the LHG barbecue for TwitchCon, and
there you go.
And then we'll have the Child's Play stream event.
So I was eyeing something. If we stick to our schedule and we don't miss an episode 100 will be on my birthday in December.
December 2nd.
Yep.
Are you going to be here for that?
I don't know. I was thinking about it. Maybe.
We need the Connor. The Connor needs to come back.
I know. We need the power of the Connor.
We need the power of the Connor. We'll make Connor to Connor. It's time for you need to come back to JRPGs.
Mm-hmm.
He's on tour right now.
He is on tour.
He would have joined us last week.
Yeah, so Brian I was saying in the Discord, we should count down top 100 RPGs of all time for episode 100.
Yeah, okay. That's like every RPG in my collection.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know. Well, we should really start mulling this over. Maybe we make a separate channel in Discord and start like people giving us ideas or something. So I would love to do something special. I don't know what that would be.
I want to make the video. That idea that I wanted to do for a long time where it's like I'm fighting your taste. Because your taste is so out of there.
You can never lock me down.
And then Maddie and I were like fighting it or something. It was like a freaking Final Fantasy battle.
Interesting.
It was a silly idea, but I wanted to do it. So Chrono Cross. We should hack your Vita so you put all the JRPGs on it.
Ooh, there you go.
See,
how do you hack it? Or what would I put on there?
I kind of want to do that, but I want my Vita to be like, legit. Like where are you? My PSP is both hacked and legit.
Whoa. So,
like, I could install a custom firmware if I want to, and then I could turn it off and make it normal, so I could have, my stuff on it. So I want that for my Vita. Should both play Chrono Cross, talk about it next episode. But we've played Chrono Cross. I haven't talked about what I'm playing right now.
Yeah, tell us about Xenogears, Nick.
Xenogears, started playing Xenogears. After I beat the Kingdom Hearts, I was like, I don't know what to play. So I started playing Street Fighter, started practicing Street Fighter again. I beat a crap ton of Mega Man X Legacy Edition.
That's right, yeah, you destroyed that game, man.
So I got all the trophies. I got all the trophies for Mega Man X5. And I got all the trophies. I mean, I got a lot of trophies for all the classic ones, but I stopped doing that because I wanted to play the ones that I actually know the best. And then I started doing Mega Man X6. I'm very close to finishing that one. But I had to play Mega Man X5, I had to beat it 3 times. And then I had to, farm it. Because there's this one trophy where it's completely random.
Oh, fun! I love those kind of trophies.
Those are the best. It's what's an easy way to to get it, which I figured out on YouTube. Which you could the whole story in Mega Man X5 was that you got to destroy this colony that's falling to Earth, and one of the trophies is use the Enigma to destroy it. And there's a certain part in the game where if you could fire it without getting all the parts, and you have a chance for it to blow up. So I'd have to fight this fight like a mini boss every time, and then fire it and make sure hopefully it gets destroyed. And I had to do that like 10 times until it actually did get destroyed.
Jeez.
I just did the cheat. I did the cheat for the X's ultimate armor, so it was really easy to get through everything. But I know they get that legit. So people, I'm not a cheater. I know they get those things legit. To find it in Act 3 and Zero Virus 3. You're going for the plats in that collection, Nick? I want to. I'm kind of worried for the second one because of Mega Man X7, a game that we've never played. Oh, we have played, but we were like, holy shit, this game is awful.
Compared to the rest, it is by far the worst Mega Man X game.
It was so bad. Mega Man X is not even in it until the end of the game or something like that. You only play as Zero and Axel.
Yeah. Because
the story's like, X became a pacifist. That's stupid.
That's stupid. Yeah. Agreed.
Yep. Xenogears, again. Playing Xenogears. So yeah, after all that, I was like, I want to play a PS1 JRPG. Because PS1 JRPGs have a very unique feel to them. Mm-hmm. I was just thinking oh man, I remember playing Vandal Hearts, and it was I was just laying in bed, and it was cloudy and overcast, and sound smelled like rain. I'm like, I want that right now. I want that right now. So I was thinking Threads of Fate, but then I was looking at what was on my PS3, and the first thing that popped up was just Xenogears. It was PS1 Classic Xenogears. I'm like, you have been staring at me for 4 years, and everyone's telling me to play this. I think it's time to play that now.
Do it.
And I did, and I was extremely shocked when I was like, okay, play. And I was getting ready to play, and then this anime cutscene with smoothest animation for a freaking PS1 game, and I was like, holy shit, there's such good animation going on right now. And the story's super weird. They're talking about you are a surface dweller and a lamb of the gospel, and it's okay, thanks. Okay. But I'm starting to get what's going on. It's an allegory for religion and stuff like that. But it's fun. It's the battle system is kind of like Legend of Legaia, has the button presses where it's to do different combos. And I enjoy that, and it has giant robots. It makes everything good.
Of course. But
I'm still compared even from yesterday. I'm still only at the stalagmite cave, where you fight Bart, and then you fall into the sand, and then you're in an underground cave. So I'm still there. I met Old Man Bal, and that's where I stopped.
Cool.
So
you're playing on PS3, you said?
Yeah, I think I'm going to transfer that saved file over to my Vita, and I'm going to play it on that.
Okay.
I think that's what I'm going to do. Because I can do that. You can do that. It's a thumbs up. It's good. It's fun. It takes forever to save because whenever you go to the save file or the file settings, file settings, it has to load every memory block, and since I'm on PS3,
oh my god, yeah,
it has 2 memory cards in it, and it's filled to the brim with this PS1 saves. So it's boop, 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 boop,
jeez,
and I'm whatever. So I save. And the one thing that I hate so much, I'm spoiled. I've been spoiled by PS4, is that I can't turn it off when I want to, whenever I want, because it's how in PS4.
Oh, there's no rest mode?
There's no rest mode on PS3.
Oh man. Okay.
So it's I need to get to a save file or just leave the PS3 on. And the PS3, whenever I'm playing a game, it's just really loud. Even for PS3 and PS2 games, it just sounds like a vacuum.
Wow.
And yeah, so that's why I think I'm going to transfer it over to my Vita. Where's my Vita? It's right here.
Good old Vita.
Good old Vita. Which is playing Chasm right now.
Oh yeah, have you been playing any more of that? Is that?
Yeah, I've been playing it. It's like it's been my sit on the toilet game.
Good.
So,
you liking it?
Yeah, it's fun. I got to the 3rd level, and I'm starting to get into it even a little more. So I wanted to play. I'm charging it. It was dying today. I was like, oh my god, Pravita's almost dead, so I gotta charge it. But I want to play it. Probably gonna play it after this.
Cool.
Once I put that bed down. With coconut. No. Coconut goes over there.
Is it just me? It looks like it's still light outside. It's 7 o'clock, isn't it?
Yeah, it's summertime.
Okay.
I know it's dark there because it's 10 o'clock.
Oh yeah, it gets dark pretty.
Yeah. It's still lit up. But if I lift that window up, it would backlight me and make me all bright.
Oh yeah, no worries there. I'm like, I can't believe it's still that bright outside. It looks like it's blindingly bright out.
Oh, it's not. It's still...
okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Cool.
It sucks because I want to play that. Howdy, I can't see the name. I'm sorry.
The Retro Island
Boy. What's up? One thing I really want to play a Tales game as well, a classic Tales game, and I don't know which one to do. Someone wants me to play Destiny for certain. Like, play your favorite game. That's what they said for the 100 episodes. Like, play your favorite game. It's like I would have to replay Tales of Destiny DC, which is only in Japanese. I should play that, and I should stream it. I wonder if people would watch it. They would have no idea what's going on, and maybe I could explain what's going on because I know that story by heart.
There you go.
Yeah, it's a good story. I like the changes in that story. It's a good remake because it's like... I'm going off on a tangent again. It's a good remake because the story is actually changed in the remake. It's like the story plots are different. Like, you remember playing the PS1 version, right, Taylor?
Yeah, you start off on
You're on the Draconis.
Yeah.
And it gets attacked by monsters and you have to escape. So in the remake, the same thing happens except Rudy and Mary are on that ship, and they're trying to steal Dimlos as well.
Oh, interesting. Huh.
But they're in disguises, so they look like guards. But you could totally tell it's them if you know the story. You're like, oh, it's Rudy and Mary. And they find Stan, they're like, hey, give me the sword! And then Mary's like, Rudy, you gotta get out of here. And Nick pulls her away. It's funny. And I was like, yeah, it's cool. Adding that stuff in. Ugh. So I like seeing that. I want that to happen for freaking Tales of Hysteria. I know Namco wants to make that into like a big thing. It has a manga. It has a really, really well animated anime. And I know I have a feeling that it's a long shot, but I have a feeling they're gonna make a complete edition, which fixes all the bad stuff about that game and makes it like playable better, more playable.
Just make a whole new game.
Yeah, I know you wanted me to do that just once in this podcast.
Yeah, just once.
But yeah, I would love to see they would change story, they would add story moments that happen only in the anime and tie it in with Berseria more.
And then at the end, Mick Leo and Saray, they kiss.
No, at the end, actually, at the end of the anime, it's more expanded on the ending scene that happens at the end of the game, like the epilogue. It expands on that, and it says in the bottom, the Shepherd story will continue. What does that mean? I don't know.
It means we're trying to sequel bait, but nobody bought our game.
This is after Berseria was out, Taylor, so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. I wonder if Maddie and I have talked about this a lot. I wonder what the next Tales game is going to be. Is it going to be Is it going to be in the same world, or is it going to be a brand new world?
We shall see.
When is Tokyo Game Show?
It's usually in September, I think. But I will say, Tokyo, everybody always gets really hyped for Tokyo Game Show. Tokyo Game Show has been growing ever so irrelevant for like 5 years. Like, they only announce like one decent game every conference.
No, it's starting to get better than the last few years. During the PS3 era, it was awful because it was just like a bunch of mobile games. But then like I think last year they announced a lot of things or showed new things for games. But so hopefully, since the Japanese market is actually growing out of the stupid mobile market again, it's just starting to make console games. That Tokyo Game Show will start growing again.
I'm hoping. I mean, if we keep getting these weird remakes, masters, like, who knows? Maybe we get a Lunar 3. Like, I remember in that big collector's box, there's an interview with the director, and they're like, "Oh, what are your thoughts on Lunar 3?" And like, "Oh, well, you know, if the fans want it, blah blah blah." And I'm like, "You need to make Lunar 3."
But how would they make it? How would they do it, Taylor?
They'd make it good. That's how they make it.
How would they make it good? You want Lunar 3, so it has to be classic style, but you're gonna have to like make it modern at the same time. How would they do that?
Just do it like how the last few retro RPGs have been doing. You got to have the weakness system in there, where they get like where they break or get destabilized or whatever. But Lunar also had something similar to Grandia, where you had to be so close to an enemy to hit it. So maybe something like that.
That was very limited, but yes,
it was. But still,
that, and you could still see the enemies.
That's
on
right.
the screen. That's amazing for a Sega Saturn game or Sega CD.
Yeah,
Sega CD game.
Yeah.
So what we've been playing, that's done now.
We have some questions. Were there new ones since yesterday?
No,
I doubt it.
Well, I think there were. I just stopped, so I didn't finish them because the podcast was like beyond saving.
I love Abe's question.
Oh, did Abe ask one?
He did.
Oh yeah, that's one of the new ones. Yep, he's Magic Knight. Bye, Brian. Other Brian. Brother Brian. Bubba. From Spaghetti, for Nick, what is your favorite Keyblade? And as I said yesterday, is the classic one. I like the classic. Just it looks like a key. It's not like have all these crazy designs like flames and stuff like that. It's just it's just a normal key. And I also like Aqua's Keyblade. That's just it's like it looks like a normal like a mechanical basic Keyblade. Looks cool.
Sweet.
From Spaghetti. Yeah, I remember this one. Are there any games you played that you have fond memories looking back at the game while you're playing it? So the memories of while we're playing it.
I mean, we talked about a lot today in the episode already.
Yeah.
Trying to think of some other ones that we mentioned yesterday that we didn't talk about. I mean, like you were saying earlier, like when I came back from Korea, you and me and Connor did a lot of game nights, and those were really fun. I love just like, let's play some old classic RPGs, and we had 3 TVs set up, and we had the Juice and Goldfish. Like, that's the classic.
We can't do that anymore.
Says who? Says who?
You want to try it? At our age, we would be playing. You'd be like, at like 3 or 2. So our game nights were we would go to like Connor's house because he had like the biggest room, and his house was like always empty. And we would get a bunch of TVs, and back in the day, there were it was just mostly SD TVs. And I would bring my Vizio, and we would just be playing video games all night. We would be playing until his mom would make us breakfast.
Pretty much.
And then we would go to sleep right after.
Yeah. Pancakes. Yeah.
Those are fun. And you guys played JRPGs. I always played it because I can't play JRPGs with people around me for some reason unless I know the game. So if I'm playing a game, like I remember I was playing Shadowheart Covenant and I was over at Connor's house, I couldn't focus on it at all. I was like, I can't play this game because I have to be alone.
Here's a game I want to ask you about. I remember speaking of playing games at Connor's house. Did you ever go back to Radiata Stories?
No, I'm still the same place.
Okay.
It was the game was interesting. I liked playing it, but I just didn't go back into it. Like the PS2 was hard to play right now in my setup, so it's hard to play PS2 games. Like, I haven't even played Jade Cocoon 2 yet. I bet you Sean's mad at me because I haven't touched it.
He's yelling right now.
He's right now. Play Jade Cocoon 2! But, yeah. My memories... Oh, man, these are embarrassing memories, as if you recall them, Taylor. I remember, like... Well, this one's not really embarrassing. At Connor's house again, because we're all childhood friends here. Mm-hmm. It would be during sleepovers. We would all, like... We could do this now. I can't do it anymore. But back then, whenever we sleep over, we would be playing Tales of Destiny together. Like, all of us. Me, Connor, and my other childhood friend, Travis. We would be playing Tales of Destiny all night. Just all of us. And we would have that PSN magazine, the PSN issue that has all the Tales of Destiny secrets and everything like that. And we would just look at that. It's like, oh, okay, so let's try to get the Blue Dragon disc. Let's do that right now. It's like, okay, let's go do it. And that's what we did. And it was very good memories. And another memories with Travis, also containing Tales of Destiny, is that we would have this combo. We'd be playing together, and we would have this combo. It would be like Gar using Void Sword, and then I would use Assassin, and then Philia would use Time Stop. Philia would use Time Stop, so all the enemies would freeze, and then we would use like the ultimate moves that the characters have. It would look cool. And we're like, oh yeah, we're the best ever. We would always say, I don't know why, but we would always say right before we would do the combo is, let's give him a nice big Andy's room welcome.
I remember you were saying that yesterday. Yeah. So random.
It's so random, and we would play it every single time. And then every time we would do it, we would just destroy all the enemies, and we would just be laughing. Good memories. Good times. And then we would play Smash Brothers 64, and I would always lose.
Nice.
Good times. From Shia MS. What particular aspects of which games stood out in how they exceeded your expectations? Examples for me, trying to avoid saying everything from Trails and Persona, lol. The soundtrack from Ys 8, the combat of Tales of Symphonia, and the control of Shovel Knight. The combat of Tales of Symphonia? The 3D combat is... it's rough on Tales of Symphonia.
The one that I will always go back to is how good Persona 5 looked. Because I always knew, I'm like, it's going to at least look like Catherine. But it did, and then it like blew that out of the water with the style of it all. Like, every little bit of that game has so much style, so that is what exceeded my expectations for that game. I'm trying to think of other games. Like, I think Ni no Kuni was that way as well. Just like, you see trailers, like, wow, this game looks gorgeous, but then like when I played it on my own TV, I'm like, how is this a real game? Like, that it looks so much like Studio Ghibli art and stuff. So,
and had the music and everything. So it's like you're playing one of his movies.
Exactly. Oh god, that's always be one of my favorites.
I think the only one that really blew me away that I remember is Cold Steel, Trails of Cold Steel, and it was during LSG podcast before Giant Sword podcast, and I would always tell it was my game of the year that year, and everyone was like, "What's that?" I'm like, "Oh, it's this JRPG that it's like really awesome and all this cool stuff happens." And the only reason that it blew me away was the beginning was really good, and then the ending of that game just ranked it up. It was like a solid 8, and then that ending, that final act, just made it 11 out of 10. I was like, holy crap, what the hell's going on? I couldn't wait for the second one. And I had to wait for that second one, Taylor, unlike you.
Well, I had to wait way longer for a second chapter, even though I never picked it up. But
yeah, shut up. Okay, yeah. We're waiting 4 years for Cold Steel 3.
I remember waiting 10 years for Final Fantasy 15. It was a long wait. Dude, Brian's not here anymore, but I swear to God that when they revealed it as Final Fantasy 15, I watched that trailer at work like literally every day. Like, I'd come into work, eat breakfast, watch the Final Fantasy 15 trailer, and then get to work.
Is it just because it changed to Final Fantasy 15?
No, it was the whole thing. Like, the part that always got me was when...
The part with Leviathan that's not in the game?
I'm so mad. So mad that's not in the game. Because that was the one part I was looking forward to. I'm like, I can't wait. It's when he's in the window and he dives through the window, and then the water's going all over the place, and then like the camera pauses and there's like water going everywhere, and Prompto's shooting the guy. I'm like, dude, this game looks fucking amazing. And then like,
what we got was Super Saiyan Noctis shooting swords at a giant lizard.
That was a bad boss fight. That was a bad boss fight.
Got.
It's a bad boss fight.
Yeah. First they cut out Insomnia, and then they cut out that Leviathan boss fight. And yet, you still left the game.
I know, those were the two parts. Like, that's it. That would have been, like, honestly, maybe it would have been my favorite Final Fantasy if it had those two things. It's like, switch it up, so it's the storming of Insomnia, and you have to escape, and that makes the beginning of the game so much stronger, and it makes you care more, because at the beginning of the game, I don't care about anything that's happening. And then going back and having that huge attack on, remind me of the city name, the Water City. Oh my gosh,
I don't know, man. That game bummed me out.
You bummed me out.
I remember I was into doing all those side quests.
Altisha.
Yeah, okay. I remember doing all the side quests, and I was like, you know what? I hate this. I'm just gonna do the story. I'm gonna do the story.
I just hate this.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the story, and I beat the story in like 5 hours, and then it ended. And I'm like, this story has so many holes.
It does.
But like the story moments are cool, like really good. I enjoyed the story moments a lot. But it was like, I don't know how I got here. This character was in it for like a second and had like a really impactful scene, but it wasn't really impactful because you have no idea who this character is. Yep. And
yeah, like Core is in the game for like 5 minutes, and I remember like in the old trailers, he's like this super important character, and he's like barely in the game.
Mm-hmm. Just dumb. And everyone's like, "Oh, the Lancer chick, she's so cool." It's like, yeah, you fight her once, and then you see her a couple times.
But if you know a glitch, you can get her permanently in your party. I found this glitch.
I know you did it. I saw you. I remember that. I was
pretty
like,
awesome.
Huh. So she was going to be playable. She was going to be playable, Taylor.
Well, now that all the characters are playable, or at least the other 3 characters in your party, you can switch. You can swap.
Excuse me. We just got to wait for the super expanded collector's complete edition Windows 2018 super duper HD remix.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I bet you at Tokyo Game Show or at something coming up, they'll show the next, because they're doing DLC through next year too.
I know, it's so dumb. It's so dumb. They're gonna do the super complete edition, right? And then it's like, oh, here's a season pass. It's like, it's not complete then if there's a season pass.
Basically.
That's what I think about that. Oh man, I just want to know. I want to know more about who's the girl, Luna.
Luna, yeah, you barely get to know her.
Yeah, you want to know about her, and I want to know about the other girl.
Which one?
The Demon Hunter one.
Not Iris?
Iris. Iris.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the thing that just made me laugh. I'm like, wow, this is awful. Is the end of the game.
Oh, the end of the game's bad.
The end of the game, you go to Hammerhead.
Yeah.
Hammerhead.
Yeah, Hammerhead.
And they're like, oh man, hey, what's up, guys? We gotta catch up. And then scene cuts, and then it goes head to Insomnia. And it's like, okay, where's all the catching up?
Yeah, I know. I wanted to know what everybody was up to.
They're like, oh, where's Iris? Oh, you mean Demon Hunter Iris? Oh, she's over there. And it's like, okay, I want to know about that. What the heck is that? I don't get it.
Hopefully they give 16 the proper budget and time, and it's all awesome.
I think 16 needs to go back to its roots, and it needs to look like a classic.
Not gonna happen.
No, not play like a Final Fantasy, like a classic Final Fantasy game. It needs to look like one. It needs to be medieval. It needs to have like white mages, black mages, and all that.
I thought you were talking about like a sprite game, or like they're never gonna. Do that.
Oh, no. Just it needs to have like the white. It needs to have the classic Final Fantasy tropes. You know.
Yes, I agree. We need to have 16 needs to be a throwback. Like, let's have, like you said, all the classes, the black mages, all that stuff. That's what I'm hoping.
Like, so Final Fantasy 13 was 7. Final Fantasy 15 was 8. Final Fantasy 9 is going to be 16. It's going to be back. It's going to go back.
There you
It's
go.
going to look like Vivi's going to be in it.
Because they've done a lot of futuristic games. All the, like you said, all the 13 series. 12 even was a little futuristic in some ways. So I'm really hoping they, like you said, they do a throwback one. That would be cool.
Final Fantasy Tactics 2.
Tier. I would lose it if they announced Final Fantasy Tactics 2.
I hear sounds, and I don't know if you hear it. It's weird. Boop, 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 boop. The expectations was definitely back to this. The question is was definitely Trails of Cold Steel. That like blew me away, and that rarely happens. I know people make a joke like I don't have any expectations, but I really like. That's how I am.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I like Tales of Zestiria and all that. It's because I don't really have any expectations of that game. Remember, I saw that trailer. You showed me the trailer. I was like, look at this. They like fuse together. It's really weird. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And then I saw that the collector's edition was out, or was coming out. I'm like, gotta pre-order that because I gotta support Namco Bandai. And that's what I did. And I played it, and then it's like, huh, this is good. This was fun. The only thing that I get super excited about are Doom games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get super hyped up.
Doom Eternal. I hear some kind of music or something, but it's like...
Hey, Dad's playing guitar.
Yeah,
Doom Eternal, and I don't really get I get excited for things. Like I see things, like I get the hype, but then I'm like not as I like seeing people get hyped. It's fun to see people get hyped. Like you freaking out about
Resident Evil 2, let's go!
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah,
that Resident Evil 2 is gonna be fun though, because it's a classic.
It's gonna be amazing.
Classic horror game. Laser Glow, what was your favorite video game you ever played? It's either Tetris on the Game Boy or a Sega Genesis game. Either Mickey Mouse Castle of Illusion, Sonic 2.
Your favorite or your first?
First game you ever played, if you could recall. It's like Sonic 2, Mickey Mouse Castle of Illusion, Tasmania game, Aladdin. I don't remember what I was. That whole area was just like a blob. We randomly got a Sega Genesis finally. We were able to have video games because my mom just didn't want any of us to have video games. And once my grandma was like begged mom to get us a Sega Genesis, she caved, and the rest is history.
Okay, nice. I think for me it's probably just Super Mario. I don't think. I know it's kind of a boring answer, but I can't really think of anything. I didn't play any console before NES. I didn't have a computer, so it was probably Mario. I have very vague memories of this like family friend that would come over, and she was really good at Super Mario, and so we would play together.
Actually, my first game might be Commander Keen.
Nice.
Captain Bible. Jumpman. There's a bunch of DOS games. That might be the first ones.
Okay.
Golf, that's just like green and black.
Just good old NES golf.
No, not NES. This is on a computer.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, those are my first memories.
Cool.
Commander Keen was awesome. Yeah, I still play those. They're fun. I have 4 and 6. One, the style of 1, 2, and 3 are kind of off for me. I like the style of 4, 5, and 6. They need to add. They need to add Commander Keen the Quake Champions. He needs to be a Quake champion. It's like a grown up Commander Keen. He's still in like the clothes. He's like a buff guy, and his clothes are all ripped. He still has the football helmet. That would be hilarious.
Might as well.
I know, might as well.
They're getting goofy with that game, so just go all the way with it.
Alright. Abram, can you guys name 5 JRPGs with no lollies? And you know what's funny? I was thinking about the classic JRPGs. There always is a young girl, like not really a lolly, but like a young girl character.
There is, but okay, when I think lolly, I think like Sagari from Aramanga Sensei.
Yeah.
So, like, I think Final Fantasy VII, I don't think... Like, Yuffie's not a lolly, I don't think.
She's a young girl, though. Like, I was thinking, like, Tales, there's
always a lolly in Tales.
Yeah, there's always is. I was thinking Tales of Destiny, like, yep, there is one. Chelsea. Tales of Eternia, yep. Cat, I think the name is Cat, the pirate girl. There's always a little girl.
And I guess Grandia did too. Your little friend that follows you. What's her name?
She's like 6. Yes.
She's definitely a lolly.
Yeah, Sue.
Sue. Okay. Lunar. I don't think there's any lollies. You're all teenagers.
Ooh, yeah, you're right. Lunar. There's
no Lunar.
I bet you. Oh, there's young versions of your characters. They're there. Are those lollies?
And
would
what?
you consider that?
What game?
Lunar, there's young scenes.
Like
there's scenes when you're young.
That doesn't count.
Okay, I'm looking at my.
I feel like that's not the spirit of the question. Like when I think lolly, I think of like, oh my gosh, I'm so bad with names. Rakota from like Ease 8. That's what I think of when I think lolly.
Yeah,
that's like the classic lolly.
That was the game. That was the name that you couldn't remember.
Yeah.
Rakota, and you played that so many times.
Yeah.
Like Persona 5. Who's the lolly in that?
Is Futaba? Futaba's not really a lolly. She's like a teenager, right?
She's barely in high school.
So she's definitely not a lolly. I mean, in Persona 4, Nanako's a lolly for sure.
Yeah.
So
I guess she's not. It's a young girl. Are young girls really lollies? Or are lollies older girls that look like young girls? What's the definition here? This is a dumb question. Don't look it up. You're gonna get weird stuff on there. Abe asked a dumb question. I don't like this question.
Okay.
We're scaring Brian off.
Okay, so here is what Urban Dictionary says. It says a lolly is not an underage girl, but a girl that has the body of one. An important attribute for a lolly is a flat chest, symbolizing that they are underaged or childlike. Personality usually does not affect the classification, but in all cases will result in different lollies. Lollies are typically tsundere, meaning they can be sweet and an asshole, both at the same time. These generic lollies can be commonly found in episode 12 of low-budget slice of life anime. That's so specific.
The end of a season episode.
That's so specific.
we must watch these. We must watch every episode 12 slice of life anime that we have and see if it's true. Okay, that opens like with that definition. There's so many JRPGs that have that. So, it's wrong. You're wrong. When you think of you're wrong. You're Abe. Your troll post lost. From Kurt, which NPC from the Trails series that never became playable characters would you like to become a party member?
Toa. She's not a playable character. In one.
All the characters that I want are playable characters already. So
wait, Toa's a playable character?
Yeah, in 2.
Oh, in 2. Okay.
Like everyone's a playable character. I think of.
I want the
in Trails. I should say in Trails. What's her name? Zane's companion, the girl who's also a guild branch leader, or guild branch leader. Her who fights with the rings. That she would be fun to as a character. She would be fun to play as.
What about the motorcycle girl from Cold Steel? Is she a playable character in 2? Yeah. Okay. Apparently she is. Everybody's here in Cold Steel 4, so apparently everybody's playable.
Everybody's playable. It's yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna stop guessing then. Anyway, next question.
All right, yeah, it's weird that Cassius should be playable. Which JRPG party member do you believe has the personality for a final boss?
The personality for a final boss. That's an interesting question. What party member has the personality for a final boss?
Asuka from Tokyo Xanadu. Asuka. She's soon for so long, and then she becomes a Durei in later half. But she's so mysterious. She's gonna become a bad guy in Tokyo Xanadu too. She's gonna betray everyone.
She's just a tsundere. She's not. I don't know if she could be a final boss. I gotta think here. I don't know if this is a spoiler, but this is definitely a spoiler, so I'm not gonna say it.
The final boss from this game?
No. Man. All right, here. I'm gonna put my hand up. Spoilers for Tokyo Xanadu. When I put my hand down, the spoiler will be over. You have 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 4, 5, 3, 2, 1. Okay. I think Goro would be is well suited to be a final boss. In fact, I thought he was a bad guy for most, like when he's finally revealed to be who he is. I thought he was a bad guy, so I think Goro would be a good final boss. He's like the most unassuming guy. He's on your side the whole time. Oh, just kidding. I'm actually a bad guy. Yeah. Okay. Put my hand down now.
Not really a spoiler, but yeah.
That's kind of a spoiler.
Yeah. If you were assuming things, yeah. You know what's really funny? The people who are listening don't know.
Yeah, they don't know who that guy is anyway.
No, they don't know. The people who will be listening would not know when your hand's down.
Oh, that's true. Oh, well. You're right. Oh, well. Too bad. I did a countdown. You're just gonna have to guess.
I don't know. Asuka. Your persona could be a final boss, right? Your main persona.
Sure. Man, I really have to think. Maybe what's his name? Oh my God. Gladiolus. Maybe he could be a. He kind of has like a brotherly thing, but then he can also kind of be a tough guy, you know. So maybe Gladiolus.
Goofy and Donald.
There you go.
Sora's gonna be coming in the room, and they're gonna be turning around and be like, "You're too late, Sora," and then you have to fight.
That'd be amazing if Donald and Goofy got Norded. That'd be amazing. Oh gosh, we got Norded, Sora. Donald, I killed him. I do it again.
Xehanort told me so. Murder!
Goofy. I know you did it. Yeah, it was me. Goofy, just shut the fuck up. We all know you did it. All right. Anyway, any more questions?
You spoiling Kingdom Hearts 3? If that happens in Kingdom Hearts 3, that'd be hilarious.
That would be amazing.
Gore Sora, you're too late. I'm gonna step on you. That's actually the last question.
Okay. Cool, man.
Whew, it's cool. How do you like? How do you guys like this? This setup. Just tell us. This is what's probably going to happen when we go our separate ways in the housing thingies. So
in the housing thingies.
So Taylor's already moved away. We could move away. I could move away. So we don't know. But yeah, it'll be more. We should be going back to being on the table right over there in next week. Actually, we're all going to be here, right, Taylor?
Yeah. So we're gonna record earlier, but I don't know. Are we gonna live stream it still?
That means that we would do 2 episodes in today and then on Friday.
Well, that's the way to do it. I don't know. There's probably not going to be any news that breaks. but we might play something between now and then that's worth talking about.
Yeah, I'll think of a game we could play.
There you go.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for watching and listening to this redo of episode 85.
So for people that tuned in for both, you get 2 episodes for the price of 1. It was different enough. We told new stories, so it wasn't the exact same episode.
We told a lot of new stories.
We sure did.
But yeah, thanks for watching. This will come out tomorrow. I'll have to set out to render it and edit it right after this, so it'll be fun. Have a good day, guys. We'll see you on the flip side. Join our Discord.
Bye.
Wait. Podcast NOC works. See, it works.
It's not gonna work. It worked.